Hey, this is Jonathan with Secrets of Solid Success, the producer here with Micah Autry. We're here to discuss TEDx Talk. Congratulations on booking that.
Appreciate you, brother.
So what made you ever want to do a TEDx Talk?
You know, funny story is I'll go on random soliloquies, and you probably have been a spectator to one of these, and I'm always like, thank you for coming to my TED Talk after like randomly saying something. But I think one thing that was, you actually reached out to me about the TED Talk opportunity in DeSoto, and I really saw it as an opportunity to tell a story, to be able to be on a platform that's seen as that prestigious. And I was like, hey, no brainer, like let's try it. And then when we got it, I was like, oh man, that was awesome. So I'm looking forward to it.
Now give the viewers, or tell us exactly what do you talk about in your TED Talk?
Yeah, so my TED Talk is about the film that I created and directed called Black Men in White Coats. And it's not just about the idea of getting more black men into medicine. It was the idea of exposing young black boys and girls to the professional excellence available to them, right? So creating this film, we showed them what's possible for them. And for me personally, I had an aha moment. Okay, what led me to have my success? What led me to entrepreneurship? What led me to be able to create a business? What led me to be able to close deals with Fortune 500 companies, right? And so through that kind of self-discovery, I was like, I have a white coat as well. It's just not in medicine. It's in a different professional arena. And I was like, okay, well, there's white coats for everybody in every professional arena. These are the steps that it may take to get there, and that's what the TED Talk is about.
Okay. I know TED Talk is a big platform. You've done public speaking. So what made you kind of go on that route of being a public speaker? I know you sometimes speak to students, you did conferences. Yeah. What made you kind of go on that profession of public speaking?
I feel that it is a duty to give back any knowledge that I have gained. I don't remember where I read this quote, but I read a quote one time that said, you learn, you earn, and you return. So hey, I've graduated from college, I've done the self-education, I've read multiple books, I've earned a little bit of money. Hey, I don't have to worry about keeping the lights on anymore. Now it's time to return, go back to my high school, go back to my college, go back to the community, and all the information that I've curated over the years imparted back into individuals. And so I think that's kind of my purpose. I enjoy speaking. I enjoy the psychology of human beings and trying to get into someone's mind or get information into someone's mind. So it's a lot of fun for me, and that's why I go back and do it.
For anyone, I know that's a huge fear of mine, standing up and speaking in front of people. What are your advice to anyone that fears public speaking? Now it is kind of common for you to do that for any role or job you're in. What is some advice you can give to people that fear public speaking or just speaking in front of people?
Do it. Just do it. Not to steal Nike's line, but do it. I'll give you a little bit of a story, or give you a little bit of evidence first. From a physical standpoint, the way your body reacts to fear and excitement are the exact same thing. Your heart begins to race. You may have the urge to go pee or something, right? Your hands get clammy. Your response to fear and your response to excitement are the exact same thing. And so before I go on stage, I feel that. My hands are clammy, my heart's beating, my mouth gets cowed mouthed. I just tell myself I'm excited to go out there and speak. I'm not scared, I'm excited to go out there and speak. And so it's simply just a mindset shift. And my advice for anyone who says, hey, how do I go out there and do public speaking? My advice is just to do it. Because when I stop being scared and I stop having a cotton mouth and my hands stop being clammy and I stop sweating, when that happens, it happens when I do it, right? Once you go out there, you get your, first slide done in the presentation. You forget all about the cotton mouth, you forget all about the hand sweating, you forget all about the heart beating, and you're just speaking at that point. So you gotta do it. The best way to overcome fear is to do it. And just a little side note, or a little, tip that I like to do when I go public speak is I always try to start off with a audience question. Because I'll go out there and I'll just start rambling, talking too fast, like I'm probably doing right now, so I'm trying to slow it down. But I'll go out there and start rambling too fast. So what I do is anytime I go on stage, I like to open up my presentation with an audience question, throw it back to the audience. That way, those nerves, that excitement can calm down while I'm talking and just having a conversation with the audience. Then I go into my presentation.
So what are you hoping viewers will take away from your presentation?
I believe the main idea that I want viewers to take away from the presentation is the importance of exposure, right? They have the adage, you can't be what you can't see, which I believe is true, but you can see someone else that's doing something that you want to do that may not look like you and still say, hey, I can do that. So you can't be what you can't see is important, but I don't think it's always true. But I do believe you can't know what you don't know. Right? So if you're not exposed to the possibilities available to you, how can you ever fathom about doing that? I didn't ever think about being a medical doctor because it was never exposed to me. I didn't meet my first black male physician until I was 22 years old. I didn't even know that was a possibility for me. I've seen doctors, but I never thought about it in terms of I could be a doctor, right? Why did I get into cameras? Because my brother was a musician and he was making music videos. So I just tagged on with Big Brother, and that's how I got into cameras, right? So it's all about what you're exposed to is what you will gravitate towards. And I think that's what I want people to take away from the TED Talk is the importance of exposure.
And do you think you've learned anything while you're creating your presentation or your speech? Have you learned anything new in regards to that? What were some of the things?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to my speaking coach, Jared. I've learned a lot in just our first maybe 3 to 4 sessions. It's been a lot of self-discovery. When it comes to be a presenter, you have to be vulnerable, right? You gotta open up the door and let people inside of your story. And I think I know that's what I've been working on the last 4 or 5 weeks, just being more vulnerable, being a better storyteller, taking my time, really emphasizing, talking with my hands like I'm trying to do right now, to really draw the audience into a story, to be captivating, to be engaging, and to tell the story the best way. I remember reading Kevin Hart's book. I think he may have 2 books, but his first book, and he talked about when he took that step from almost like slapstick comedy, where you're just making jokes about celebrities, making jokes about shoes and random stuff, to talking about his mother, right? Laughing My Pain was one of his comedy tours, right? He talked about, the death of his mother. He talked about his father who had dealt with substance abuse, right? Because that was true to him. So what I'm learning from this TEDx experience is really to talk about my personal experiences and then have the audience take takeaways from the things that I've been through.
Oh, I think that's it. You have anything else you want to talk about TED Talk?
Nah, looking forward to it.
You want to say something, but promote yourself on TED Talk?
Nah, come out October 22nd, TEDx Desoto. Look forward to seeing you there.
You can buy tickets. Oh.
Yeah, I ain't doing all that.
Oh.
That's cool. Put it in the link below. It's not needed. It's not needed.
Okay, yeah, you just don't know how to do right.
I don't know. That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you, Solomon. Shout out to Solomon behind the camera.